northern hemisphere. It's very cold up there. You would not want to go there without a lot of clothes because you'll probably freeze your ass off. So this type of a scenery is, I would say it's in between a boreal and a temperate forest. So the closer basically you go to the equator, the more biodiversity you will have in the forest. The world depends on forests. When we take away the forests, it's not just the trees that go. The entire ecosystem begins to fall apart, with dire consequences for all of us. This is not gonna sound right, but I will literally run for the hills. Like from the Iron Maiden song, you know? In order to escape the nukes. As if it's gonna solve anything. But stay tuned, because maybe later in this video I'm gonna eat a mushroom. Maybe, who knows? We have arrived. Dyrehaven, what they call the deer park in English. And this place is magnificent, as you can see. The whole spectrum of beautiful orangey, yellowish, greenish colors during fall. So Dyrehaven is renowned to host more than 2,000 deers, free gazing deers that is. And people visit from all across the world. And during every season, people run here for the green picnics in summer, and they go jogging, biking, even hunting. Actually, back in the day, they went hunting. The royal family went hunting here, and heck, you can even go for a majestic horse carriage ride if you want to do that. A fun little fact: the park was actually initially created for hunting with hounds, which is why all the trails are linked and star-shaped in order to keep track of all the dogs that they hunted with. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, the most visited place in Denmark by far. And going way back to 1969, the Danish king actually decided to fence the park to let deer run freely and use it for hunting. And that's why the royal family actually went hunting here way back in the day. And I think it was this whole plain, this whole forest is like cultivated woodland and grassland. By the way, if you want to experience this place, it's only 20 minutes by train approximately from Copenhagen Central Station. So if you visit Denmark, come here and visit this park. It's a beautiful place. I can recommend it, that's for sure. You know, the freshness of the air out here is outstanding. I feel almost newborn, and I am ready to conquer the forest. After oceans, forests are the world's largest storehouse of carbon. They provide ecosystem services that are critical to human welfare, such as absorbing harmful greenhouse gases that produce climate change. In tropical forests alone, 250 billion tons of carbon is stored in, above and below ground biomass, providing clean water for drinking, bathing and other household needs. So a forest is essentially a complex ecosystem in which trees are the most dominant life form. And a forest is also nature's most efficient ecosystem, and it has a high rate of photosynthesis, affecting plant and animals systems in a complex series of organic relationships. All right, so also, why do we need forests? It should be obvious, but it depends on our survival, from the air we breathe to the wood we use. And then it provides animals shelter and livelihoods for humans. It offers watershed protection, and it prevents soil erosion and mitigate climate change. Something that I really find inspirational and astonishes me is like when you look at a forest and you see the randomness to it. You see like the chaotic, seemingly just dispersed elements around on this giant field of earth, and all the elements combined together makes up all of this, like, you know, complex biodiversity system. But yet it seems to work out perfectly. Yet there seems to be like a deep intelligence going into this whole system and organizing the patterns so it works flawlessly in a natural, harmonious way. But on the surface level, it looks obviously very chaotic. But then when you go deeper, it's very organized somehow. And I wonder what kind of intelligence is responsible for that. And I think it's even beyond humans' capacity to just think about intellectually, and that is why maybe you should try to surrender sometimes. Let go to a forest, listen, observe, and be curious to surrender and be thankful, appreciative of the forest itself, to learn something new about it. So that's really amazing. You know what? I got this from my girlfriend, and it says, "Happy first month day, min skat." Beautiful soul. We have been dating for 2 months, but we have already shared and made a lot of memories. I hope you will continue to be loving and loyal boyfriend. I love you, and may we grow more together. Oh, that's so sweet. Time to go to bed. Humans then have to ask themselves, as Alan Watt said, are we really so sure that we can control nature? Maybe it's an illusion. Maybe human beings may come to the alarming conclusion that the universe is smarter than we are. And through this reductionistic scientific method, by cutting everything into pieces, is that the right way to do it? Who knows? We might take a pill, it might solve something, but it might create another problem, you know? It might solve for something, but then in the future we'll realize that nature is way too complex, way too many parts, we have no perspective. We need to take a step back, zoom out, and let nature take care of itself. Let nature find its own natural homeostasis balance. So many people nowadays are so distant from nature, either because they live in urban areas, have no exposure to nature. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation living in a city for your whole life. So many people nowadays feel lonely, even if they're surrounded by friends and family and whatnot. Well, I've got the ultimate solution. Go to the forest. Then connect with a tree. Hug a tree if you want that. Actually, do you know that there's a sport called tree hugging, and supposedly it can heal your psychological traumas. So go with the intention of loving the tree. Should we do it? Actually, let's do it. I want to demonstrate, not just talk. Talk is cheap. Can I? No. Hugging the tree. There you go. It's really all about holism, in my humble opinion, because without being wholesome, right? What is left? Disease, dis-ease. You don't feel well. Let's say you neglect some part of your, let's say the liver in the body. Well, you'll die. So it's all interconnected. Everything is completely and utterly through a complex network system of like channeling systems through which energy can flow and provide nourishment for all the organisms in the body, for all the cells in the body. The same thing applies to a ecosystem, like from micro to macro, macro to micro. Like it's like an infinite fractal. So let's pay attention to the forest and really learn something from it. The leaves, all the components that constitutes a forest, an ecosystem, is all in a one mind collaborative process. Everything is a collaboration, an orchestrated act of beauty, singing together, and that is what makes a forest so beautiful. When all the components come together in this magnificence, marvelous, wondrous, and majestic. You feel like there's something going on here. I don't know quite what it is. I cannot quite put my finger on it. But what is really going on? Well, we can try to introspect, contemplate, go to the forest. The first step towards love is the ability to forgive, to surrender and let go. Do not control. Control enforces yet more control, which leads to fascism, centralization of power, destruction, suffering, conflict, both individually but also collectively. So something else that, let's say, just philosophically speaking, we can learn from going to the forest. Look at the nakedness, look at the simplicity, look at the innocence that you see here, the surrender, the patience. It is just giving, right? And giving, what is giving? There's many synonyms here. If, let's say, truth is in the direction of love, let's say that. I mean, why would it be otherwise? Because you'd figure if you're a conscious organism, right? And this is just my hypothesis, my theory. If you're a living organism and you're self-conscious, well, what is the alternative to suffering? It might be loving, right? Because if you suffer, you realize that it's not sustainable. You will self-destruct. You will die eventually. So you might as well seek some sort of what we can call a spiritual awakening. We could call going to God, praying, and going to nature. Because nature can teach us about how to surrender. If you sit long enough and just look at the birds, look at all the trees, look at all the animals around, you will figure that they are not in a hurry. They are being. And what is being? Being is simply the ability to let go and be with what is, actually. You know, being with what is very enlightening in and of itself. Because being in and of itself, there's no thoughts, there are no feelings really. Yes, you can still like be in the dualistic world if you want to do that. But talking about the non-dual world, let's say, if you want to become one with everything, you need to let go of everything. Literally, it's a paradox, but that's the way I think beauty works. If you want to create something beautiful, you have to let go and let it channel a higher power, something that is beyond yourself, whether it being a forest, marveling, just appreciating the forest, say thank you to the forest, and yes, be thankful, and set your intention of wanting to learn and to experience something new, whether it be in the universe, but God, whatnot, anything, anything, and then you will be transformed somehow. Yeah. So I'm on my way home now. It's been a great day out here in the woods, and I want to give you a little practice, actually, a technique that I find very beneficial. So I want you to simply let go and experience your own presence at the moment. So get in contact with your feet. If you're sitting down, you can experience the weight, the gravity of the body touching the ground, and just relax and surrender to what is. And don't conceptualize anything, draw no conclusions, just be with what is. And then you should just sit there for a couple of minutes and pay attention to what's going on. And you might find that a lot of thoughts will arise. It's okay, just let them pass as if clouds passing in the sky, because nothing in this reality is stagnant. It's constant moving. It's a fleeting experience, so it will pass. Both good experiences but also bad experiences will pass. So just recognize that in the moment, and it is exactly this exercise that'll make you aware of your untouchable, let's say, essence, like the true self, we could say, that is beyond the personalized, conceptualized idea about, well, this is me, my name is Matthias, and I'm walking right here. So if you go as if to zoom out, metaphorically speaking, zoom out a little bit by being aware, could be the senses, get in contact with all of your 5 senses, and then almost zoom back out and be aware of that from an observer perspective, from behind almost, and pay attention to the awareness of itself, like the formless awareness that is infinite, that is your true nature in the background. That is we cannot define it really, we should not label it otherwise, or in any case, but just be with it. And then you'll do this for 5 minutes every single day, or 10 minutes or 20 minutes if you do so, like a meditation. It will make you more at ease in life to tackle situations and become more familiar with what is to become familiar. Great day and have fun. Something I recognized, and maybe you've recognized this yourself a couple of years ago, was that just looking around in nature and studying it with my dumb monkey brain, I was like, all of a sudden, whoa, wait a minute. So this tree actually looks like this plant just scaled up in a bigger order, in a bigger scale. And then I thought to myself, well, could this go on? Let's say the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, and onwards. And then, is there even an ending to this, or is it infinite? And so we call this self-similarity. Nature is self-similar across all scale, which is to say it's like a fractal pattern. You have the Sahara Desert, but you also have the beach. So if you, let's say we take your normal size as a human right now, and we downscale you a bit. Then standing on the beach would look like, well, the Sahara Desert somehow. And then you can do this from micro to macro. So maybe the universe is infinite. What do you think? So, everything considered, I think this has been a great and even informative episode to work on. I feel more inspired, less selfish, haven't delved into this whole topic about deforestation, climate change, but haven't gone to the forest myself and actively demonstrating what it means to actually connect by surrendering to the forest, listening to the forest, and feeling every aspect of what it's actually trying to tell us, what it's trying to speak to us. So through this interconnected, very sophisticated ecosystem. So I hope you learned something, my friend, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, on Facebook, and I hope to see you in the next one. As you can see, I've painted a forest here, and this is what we can call a boreal forest. It is in Sweden, and it's a winterscape, so plenty of snow, and I feel, even after having created this frame myself and everything is handcrafted, I feel inspired to create something new, to create something that can be of value for other people. And with that said, I hope you'll have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.